Hi Virgo, this is your mid-March 2019 reading. Virgo, as we have been talking about it for the last couple of months, Saturn, Pluto and South Node, they're sitting together in your house of creativity. They're asking you to give birth to something that is true to you, that is more authentic to you, and that makes use of all of your innate talents. And it is asking you to take a calculated risk on your talents and move forward and bring something out at a larger scale. Because you have North Node or Rahu this year in the house of contribution to the world. You're looking at contributing something to the world in a significant manner and create a legacy for yourself. And this is the month starting from middle of March all the way to April, when we'll be having Saturn, Pluto and South Node in very close proximity with each other. When they come together, something has to be unplugged and we have to progress to the next level. They're asking you to leave some hindrance behind, take a calculated risk and move forward. And it is not alone in this approach. All the external planets, they're working together to prod you and move you in that direction. The next large external planet that is moving into a house that is supporting you in this adventurous journey is Uranus. Uranus moved into Taurus on 6th of March and it will stay there for the next 7 years. But when such a slow moving planet, which takes 84 years to come into a house, moves, it makes a shift. We see a shift in our perspective. We see something unplugged. We see something unplugged to make us see a world that we did not see before, because it is moving in your house of adventure, in your house of expansion of mind, in your house of seeing things beyond the current situation. Uranus in 9th house, in the house of adventure, in the house of education, was there in the charts of most of the visionaries, like Mahatma Gandhi, like Einstein. So this is your voila moment. This is your moment to unplug from the current situation and take a leap and move to the next level. What is challenging you while all of these external planets are supporting you is Neptune. Neptune is opposing you. It is sitting in your partnership area. It is opposing you, it is challenging you to create an ideal of partnership, a perfect partnership, a partnership of your highest inspiration. It is challenging you to go beyond your current limitation and create a partnership that you have not done before. And this could be a business partnership, it could be an existing marriage partnership that you're being challenged to improve, refine, take it to the next level, so it supports you, so it builds you up and makes and helps you move to the next level. Because Neptune in this house dissolves our old notion of how a partnership is supposed to look like, how our partner is supposed to be, how is the existing relationship fulfilling you. All of those questions come back for reckoning, for resolving, for reviewing with your partner. You're refining the terms of your partnership over the course of this month, while Mercury, your ruling planet, goes retrograde. And the success of your career, the success of who you want to become, depends on you resolving this versus ignoring it right now. That is what I want to discuss briefly during the details of this video. But first of all, we'll go into the details of the external planets and how the movement of the external planets will impact you in longer term beyond March, because we have major shifts coming our way. On 4th or 5th of April, we'll be having Pluto and South Node joining their hands together. They'll be exactly together in your house of creativity, in your house of childlike joy. Something is getting unplugged and we need to look at what it is. We need to start preparing for it. We need to prepare ahead of it, because you'll start feeling that right now the things that we need to look out for is that we are not taking undue risk, because you have Saturn in the area of risk. So the risk have to be calculated. They have to be looked at with your lens of earth. You're a earth sign. You know that things have to be done in a particular manner. They take their course, there are steps to be followed, and there are no shortcuts in the game. You know that this is your innate quality that you bring to the table. So we are asking you to use your innate quality, your talents, your ability to have the foresight of where this is going and then take a leap. Do not take a blind risk right now. Do not take a new risk this month. Refine your existing risk and take it to the next level. Refine your existing business and take it to the next level. Refine a partnership that has been presented to you, probably in your business area, or maybe your existing marriage partnership that needs refinement. Take it to the next level. That is what we are doing. This month, we are taking it to the next level. So let's dig into the details of things. Thank you. The first key change that I want to talk about is that Uranus is moving into your house of adventure. With Uranus moving into your 9th house, now this is the next planet which is coming into positive aspect with you. It is coming over there to free you, to give you the confidence to go into a unique uncharted territory. It's asking you to leave your old notions behind and expand your mind beyond what you've seen before. This is when we take a leap. This is when we increase our sphere of influence and our outlook on life. This is where the right brain gets activated. This is where luck gets activated. This is where positive karma gets activated. We are asked to interact with people who are completely different from us, and there will be people through your journey, through your interaction with people who are foreign to you, who are different to you, who will sort of wake you up. They will wake you up from your current notion, from your current faith, from your current sphere of influence, and take you to the next level. And that's why with Uranus in this area, you are encouraged to mingle with people who are different from you. You are encouraged to reach out to people. You are encouraged to sort of travel if you can, or at the very least, expand your sphere of influence and discussion. Interact with people who are different from you, who are foreign to you, who have a different ideology compared to you, and bring that home, because Uranus rules your house of work, house of health. So these unique ideas will filter into and improve and make a shift in your work environment, in your health as well. They will bring a new perspective about your health. Now this is a long-term change because Uranus will be in this house from 6th of March 2019 to 27th of April 2020. And it did briefly enter this area last May, on 15th of May, all the way till November. So you were given a sampler of this last year, and you can look at last year, what happened around May, June, July, what kind of changes happened. You can expect a full-blown version of that in the coming months, because Uranus will keep speeding forward till August. It will be moving forward. So you'll see the changes. Now the directly impacted are early degree Virgo, but because of the degree it is happening at, which is a 0 degree of Taurus or 1 degree of Taurus, we all feel it. When such a big change happens, we feel it. What do we feel here? We feel a need for freedom, a need to get away from a current situation. We are sort of looking, we are coming up for air. We are coming up for air. We are looking at finding people who are different from us. We are looking to activate a different side of our brain altogether. This is the higher mind that gets activated, which is unconventional in nature. There are sudden thirst for knowledge. You'll feel like learning new things. A steep learning curve is created, and you will be able to acquire new knowledge. The thing to look out for if you're taking a course or you're going for a new education is to not go for anything conventional, because you won't feel like sticking to something conventional right now. You would want to learn in an unconventional manner, and this is the placement when learning on the job is more encouraged versus actually taking a sabbatical and going for anything, because our higher mind is activated. We are not bound to the desk and want to sit on the desk and do anything or do it in a conventional manner. We want to travel. We want to feel the air and the wind through our hair. We want to feel this unusual foreign influence that is coming towards ourselves, and we want to change our belief system. We want to even change who and what we believe in terms of our faith, in terms of our religion, in terms of the fixity in our life. That is what is getting modified, and we have to prepare a little bit the people in our life that we would be influenced by something different, that we would be a little bit different. So things and people will evolve with you. Your environment will evolve. The people who you interact with will evolve as a result of that. The people who you work with will evolve as a result of that. You will be working with people who are different from you. preparing the people in your life that these are things that you want, that these are the things to which you want to progress to, is strongly advised. This planet will work in positive energy with you, so there is no like there's nothing coming your way which does not work in your favor. It is unplugging something, a positive karma, it is unplugging, so things can start flowing towards your way. A fear of being spontaneous about things, a fear of taking a leap, a fear of taking certain radical steps in your life which will change your current situation, that gets unplugged with this, and we start going for the unknown. We start going, this is a radical confidence that is created in ourselves. There's a radical faith that is created in our life to do something different from what we have done before. And you're connecting to a collective network when you do that. You want to connect with people in a different way. You want to connect with people who are there, who are different from you and at a larger scale. So publishing is one of the things that is encouraged at this time. Dissemination of some sort of information, launching something is encouraged. But again, your planet is retrograde this month, so stay with it till this month. Launch something next month, not this month. When your ruling planet is retrograde, we are asked to look at what we are presented to in a different fashion. We are asked to gain a perspective on it versus acting on it. You can start researching forward on what you want to do. You can start working forward on what you want to do. But April is the right month to launch something versus the month of March. This is also when we are given the gift of anticipation, the gift of intuition, the gift of foresight, which is required when you're going into uncharted territory, knowing little bit, having this outlook, this sort of innate intuition which guides you through uncharted water, that comes in. But you have to tune into it. You have to pull yourself in this phase. Especially this month, your intuition will be very, very high with Neptune opposing you. You're being asked to lower your boundaries a little bit. Lower your boundaries a little bit and let the other influences come in. Take in the information that your environment is giving you. Take in the information that your partner is giving you. Take in the information that the people who you interact with who are different from you, take that in, because this is about the future. This is not about the past. This is about the future that's unfolding in front of you and the speed of it all. You are propelled into future with this. You are propelled into uncharted journey full of faith right now. And this is very, very positive. I mean, I couldn't choose a better house for Uranus to be in, apart from 5th, where your Saturn, Pluto are sitting. These are positive karma. These are considered to be, if I call it lucky. These are lucky houses. So sudden information, sudden changes happen in our life which turn our life for the better, that turn our life for what we were looking for, that turn our life for freedom. And it flows to your work, it flows into your health. And Venus is in your house of work and health as well. So you feel this comfort. You feel this comfort coming your way. But one thing to look out for, and I think it will happen to many of you, there is a bigger question that we start asking ourselves beyond the mundane, because this is not the house of the mundane. So our higher self wakes up, and the questions like, why am I here? What am I doing? Who am I? These bigger questions in life, they will come to you. They will be presented to you, and they might lead you to a different path, because 6th house, where Uranus is ruled, which Uranus rules in your chart, is ruled by service. So Mother Teresa had that. So changing, Mahatma Gandhi had the same thing, but for his nation. Uranus ruled his nation, his house of nation. It rules work for you. So realizing that what you're doing needs to have a higher purpose. It needs to be of service to people. It could be service in an earthy way, which is generating value for your customers, generating value for the people who you work for, or generating value for the people who you work with, your staff, the people who are affected by what you generate on a day-to-day basis, servicing them better. There's a service element that gets activated at a higher level, because you start asking the higher meaning and higher purpose of life. And this will happen in phases. This is not something that suddenly happens right now. It will happen in phases, and it will come to you, which will change your philosophy in life. And being open to that is what I'm suggesting you right now. Be open to a change in mind. Be open to speaking, writing your ideas, talking, interacting with people who have a vision which is different from you. Be ready for sudden travel changes as well. Don't take a traditional course right now. You will meet people who will wake you up if you take a different course of action. If you take a different path, even a different route to where you're getting to, you will see a very different side of yourself. You will go ahead of time, and you have to be ready that you will be ahead of time. Einstein was ahead of time. Mahatma Gandhi was ahead of time. The ideas that you're generating, being ready that you might be alone in that, because you're making progressive ideas. You're getting into a mode of a innovative thinker. So for example, Admiral Richard Byrd, the first man to fly to North Pole, he had this placement in his chart. I'm sure a lot of people would have told him that he'll die on the way. Just putting it in context, I'm sure you're not doing something, hopefully, okay, I shouldn't say anything, but it is the phase, when we take a leap of faith, right? We are told by people we are not doing the right thing. We are not doing the right thing, and there will be people who will tell you that, because you are going into uncharted territory. People have not seen which way does that go. So you will be the front mover, the first mover in some of the things, and being ready that that's what Einstein was told, that's what Mahatma Gandhi was told, that's what Richard Byrd was told, that is what these people who did something first were told. Being ready for that. But Uranus in Taurus rewards individuality, rewards innovation, but it does not reward impatience. When that man decided to go to North Pole, he had a plan in mind. He had a plan about how to get there, what are the practical aspects of it, which are the phases to take. That's what Uranus and Taurus requires you to do. And Taurus has the element common with you, which is the earth element. You have a base. You always have a ground on which you stand. You don't fly beyond your ground. You understand that there needs to be a basis of where you're going. You understand that there needs to be a tangible result at the end of it all to which you're going to. There needs to be an approach, a methodology to get there, a process to get there. But here you're being asked to sort of accelerate that path a little bit. You'll feel that there'll be a speed to things, a speed to this need to go get somewhere, to get a higher purpose in life, to get something bigger from your current situations. Things to look out for from a health perspective, because even though it's in positive aspect with you, it rules your health. It rules your house of health. And Uranus tends to overstimulate our brain because it is sitting in your higher mind. It overstimulates the brain. So getting the requisite risk, because you might be doing too much, too fast, taking the requisite risk, taking the requisite rest, and allowing your system to settle down a little bit with this energy. Make it a way of life over time. Just understanding that if you have a thyroid issue, in the past you had a thyroid, or you may not have, it gets a little bit overactivated. Thyroid gland gets overactivated by Uranus with the placement that it has. Psychiatric nerves get a little bit activated. So I've said this before, with Neptune opposing you as well, take the requisite dietary precautions. Take the precautions to refuel yourself in terms of your vitamins and minerals, especially magnesium, if you have access to it, or if under a doctor's prescription, or just discussion with your practitioner, looking at how it affects your whole system. Magnesium tends to calm down the overactivity of the nerves, which Uranus causes. So being a little bit, and you'll know this, you can figure out you're getting more cramps, or you're getting any kind of migraine or headache which is suddenly coming and going. These are signs of overactivation of nerves. These are signs of lack of fluid in the system as well. So being a little bit careful on these fronts. This is just a sign that your mind is going faster than your body can take. So we're just trying to cope up with both the energies. So this is the first key change that is happening from March, and it will affect you over a longer period of time. The second key change is Pluto and South Node. They're coming together on 4th or 5th of April in your house of creativity, in your house of taking risk on your talents, in your house of childlike joy. There's something that needs to be unplugged so you can move to the next level of creativity, to the next level of happiness, to the next level of being able to take a risk on your talents. You're being asked to go dig deeper and get this is unsurmountable amount of ambition and confidence in yourself. This is faith. This is faith. This is you realizing that you have to contribute something. You came here to do something and you want to do it. You're asked to go one step deeper in your creativity, in your conviction, in your confidence, in terms of your depth, in terms of being able to produce something that is waiting to happen. It's like the world is the world and the universe is waiting for you to show up. That is what this aspect is. And this aspect says there needs to be more conviction, and Pluto gives you the conviction required, the creative explosion required, the recognition for it all if you take a chance on yourself. This is happening at like 22-23 degree of Capricorn, so it will affect the 22-23 degree Virgo the most, which is 14th or 15th September born. 14th, 15th, 16th, even 10th to 17th September born will feel it in their core all the way to April, that it's like the last phase of giving birth, and this aspect will continue till the eclipse that happens in July. So there'll be phases in and out of it. You'll feel the first push right now. Then we revise what we have done, because Saturn goes retrograde end of April, and then we push again in July. So you'll see this come and go in waves. This is like a 9-month process, and we are starting just that you're in the process of last phase of pregnancy for 9 months instead of initial. You're already pregnant and ready to give birth, and this is like you're just going and pushing. There's one more phase, one more leg to go, one more thing to do, and this is one of the places where you'll feel it. This is for example, Prince Harry. He's 15th September born. He's a fellow Virgo. He's pregnant. This is what I mean. 5th house is about getting pregnant with something. It could be actually a child. It could be actually giving birth to a child. It could be actually working on a business which is like a child for you. This could be a new romance which you're passionate about, where you're going beyond your current limitations, your background. Like Nick Jonas. Nick Jonas is 16th September born. He got married to an Indian, completely different culture. He's taken a leap of faith there in himself. This is a great time. Hugh Grant, I mean, I didn't think he can take a leap of faith. He's done so much in his life. What is there to take a leap of faith on? He's done a role of his career now. The role which is I hope that he over time realizes he's taken a completely different kind of role right now. I mean, an English Scandal is a completely different kind of role that he's ever done before, and hopefully he'll see the results of that. But this is where, and he's a Sun and Ascendant in Virgo. So these are, I'm just giving you some of the examples of people. I know these are celebrities, but their life you can see visibly. You see how their life is changing, what kind of leaps they're facing. This is a kind of energy that is rife right now. There's a desire to take a leap, to give birth to something, and we cannot accept interference in this course, and that is what it is. We cannot accept being held back anymore. When Pluto comes into power, this is like it digs deep, and it tells us that we need to become somebody else, and there's a desire of depth required, whether it is in your business or in romance that comes up, and you want to go deeper, and the relationship and the business has to mean something deeper to you, what you're doing in terms of your creativity. The hobbies become talents, as I said, and the talents become career. I spoke about it in the last video as well. Hobbies become talents and talents become career here. You do not want to stay on the surface anymore. This is going deeper. And as I said, the first push comes from this to all the way to the middle of April. Something to learn from, something to transform from. This experience will transform you. When Pluto is there, we change from who we are before this and after this, all the very for the better, all the very to be more powerful, to be more to be more strong in our core. And Uranus has already done that over the last 7 years. It has made you independent. It has made you realize that the only person you should rely on is on you. And now with that in mind, knowing that you can be on your own, now going into something deeper, which is more authentic, which is based on you being a powerful being, instead of you looking for somebody to support you, somebody to help you, somebody to take you out of the situation. You are taking a leap yourself. You're taking a risk on your talents here, and there will be a change, I feel, in the relationship that comes with it. If you are in an existing relationship, that changes with it, because you need something more. There's a need to go deeper that comes, whether it is a romance or it is a relationship you are in, it transforms you. And if there's a new relationship that has come about, like for Nick Jonas, I guess, you transform with it. That relationship transforms you. If there's a new business that you've gone into, that transforms you. If there's a new child in your life, he or she transforms you, and the relationship changes over the course. As I mentioned in one of the previous videos, here the children become our teacher. If we have any children, or if we are about to have a child, that child becomes our teacher. And Prince Harry would, I guess, experience that. It's a beautiful energy. They become a stronger part of our life, whether this is a lover or it's a child. They become an intrinsic core part of our life. Maybe it's about giving birth to the next heir. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is what it is. But you have to take calculated risk. The business risk has to be calculated. We have to be careful about the risk we are taking. It has to be done in a stepped manner. Zuckerberg is a Virgo, 20-degree Virgo. Saturn is acting there. He's been asked to reconsider his strategy, the risk that he has taken before, and move on that. There has to be a plan to it all. Saturn is there as well. It's asking us to learn to take calculated risk versus just taking a leap. There needs to be a deeper sense of what we are doing, a deeper meaning of what we are doing, a full plan of what we are doing, a careful thinking of the risk that we are taking, especially if you have planets around 16 degree when Neptune is acting, which is if you're a Virgo sun, around 8th of September born, even from 6th to 10th of September born, they need to be a little bit careful in terms of their partnerships right now. Who and what is telling you what. You need to use your own Saturnian, your own earth element right now to evaluate it, whether that is good for you or not. Because when Neptune is activated, we are asked to lower the boundaries to take in inputs, which is fine, but we need to make sure that they are the inputs that take care of our interest as well. So especially if you have planets around 16 degree of Virgo, which is around 8th of September born, so 6th to 10th of September born, be careful. No new proposals which are coming through this month, and there will be new proposals which will come because you have a new moon in this area. There could be a new contract that is presented, there could be a new relationship that is presented, it could be a new proposal that comes through of marriage. You need to evaluate that fully over the course of this month and then take a call next month on it, not during the course of this month. This is not the month to take a call. This is not the month to decide on anything. This is the month to evaluate. April is the month to decide something, but at the very least, each one of you will feel it in your core to give birth to something. This is the push, the go, the release of the blockage that is holding you back from taking the leap, sort of. And Pluto gives you the power, the confidence, the ambition to go for it. So this is affecting you over the course of next 1.5 months. The third energy, which is there, which is only for this month, is that Mercury is retrograde. I spoke about it in detail in a separate video, but briefly mentioning it for your sign, on about 5th or 6th of March, Mercury, your ruling planet, it went retrograde in your house of partnership, and it will stay there till 28th of this month. It will stay retrograde till that time. It will go direct and start moving forward after 28th of March all the way to 17th of April, when the things start moving forward in your partnership area, when things start getting resolved. While Mercury is retrograde, from 8th to 27th or 28th of the month, we are being asked to review our emotional responses to the partnership. We are being asked to review the terms of our partnership. What are these unspoken agreements that we have with our marriage partnership or with a new business partner who's coming to our life? What are those rules? What are those rules of engagement? How do we connect with them at an emotional manner? What is the depth of it? What are you getting out of this, and what are they getting out of it? What are the old forgotten issues that might be sitting unresolved to some extent, and they come out to close for once? And this is happening first time since 2013. In fact, at this degree where it is happening, the last degree of the zodiac, it hasn't ever happened that we are aware of. So there is a mold that is broken. There is an old mold, an old image of who we thought we should be connected with, that is broken. How we want to be with a partner, that old way of being, this old archetype of being a husband, of being a wife, of being a partner, a business partner of a certain kind, that is changed and modified for us to become a different person in a partnership. We are asked to dig deep, go to a different level of our consciousness to figure out what we want for this relationship to move to the next level, what we want in this partnership for it to be fulfilling for me as well as to the other person. And this is going to be an emotional journey. I will say that. I said it in the Mercury retrograde video as well, where your ruling planet is going retrograde. That's a very, very sensitive point. 16 degree of Pisces is the degree in every poet's chart, I think, in the moon or in the sun somewhere, or in the Mercury. This is a very emotional point. So it will be a little bit high on emotions, and that is where we are tested. Our emotional response to impetus is tested when Mercury goes retrograde in a water sign. Our response to the other person when we are excited or incited in some way, that is tested, whether it is positive or negative. Do we take an extreme decision when presented with something that, or someone we really like, or something or someone we don't really like? How do we react to that? So that's why this is not the month to sign a business deal. This is not the month to sign a contract. If you have to do it, put some clauses in it so you can revoke them or go back on them or change the terms later on. Next month, starting from 20th of this month, the focus will go into the terms and the proceeds of partnership, the actual financial aspect of the partnership, or the proceeds or the depth in that partnership or relationship that you are in. So when you will be looking at the proceeds going forward from 20th of this month all the way to next month, that is when the terms get written and modified and put into stone. Right now, it is the time to evaluate what you're liking, not liking, how you interacting, talking with your partner, but knowing that the reactions can be overboard because of the high emotional element for it. It will be a very busy time on communication side because Mercury will be opposing you throughout the cycle, especially if you have planets between 16 degree to 30 degree, which means you're born between 8th of September to 22nd of September, especially the people on the edges, the 8th of September and the 22nd September born, or the 16 degree or the 29-30 degree Pisces, Virgo, you'll feel it strongly. You'll feel this opposition of Mercury and this overload of information, communication coming from all sides, business partner as well as personal partners, just too much information coming your way, and your patience is tested. And your ability to react patiently to all of these impetus is tested, because we are being taken every time a planet, especially our own planet, goes retrograde. There is a growth cycle that comes. We move to the next level with it. We move to the next level of maturity in how we react to people in our life. How do we react when there are issues in the relationship that come up for handling? How do we react when there is things are out of balance between you versus the other, where your interest is probably compromised versus the other person's interest. So there's a need to sort of cut some issues, nip them in the bud right now, and smoothing and ruffling these are ruffled feathers that need smoothing, going stronger in, going deeper in, going more realistic with forming the right kind of boundaries with your partners, having the right rules of engagement in places, the Goldilocks of relationship, as it said, because you're a earth stable element. You are the stable element in it all. You know how to be grounded in these situations, how to be realistic in these situations, and you are a mutable sign. You know how to change a situation, you know how to modify in a situation, how to add and grow in a situation, depending on what the situation is teaching you. You are the earth mutable element. You are able to take it to the next level. You are able to modify this relationship to the next level. You are able to make this partnership work for you to become more lucrative going forward for you. So this is the time to sort of renegotiate, reunite, go deeper in understanding of each other. And that is what the Mercury retrograde lesson is all about, all the way till 28th of March. So these are 3 long-term influences. Now let's get into the individual dates for the rest of the month. We have a beautiful full moon at the end of the month in your money house. Money will come into focus over the next month and a half as well. So let's get into that now. I believe the things start shifting, especially from the middle of this month. So 14th of March is a turning point, as I spoke about in the Mercury retrograde video. That is the day around 14th of the month when something unlocks and information is revealed, a clarity of purpose comes through in your partnership sector, and that starts a very, very strong period in this month. So from 13th of this month, when Sun and Pluto work together and Sun and Jupiter work together, there is a knowing that seeps in, and information comes through, and it could be through some friend of yours, through a network, through listening to somebody, through an online communication. Something comes through that unlocks the blockage in your partnership, that unblocks the forward movement in a contract that you're part of, or a business partnership that you're working on. And then you go in with full conviction. You tap into your inner resources for power, and you move forward with a lot of confidence. There's a belief in your future that is instituted around 13, 14, 15, 16th of this month, which is groundbreaking in my view. This is where you sort of act in a very confident manner, very powerful manner, and Saturn is part of it all. So there is hard work involved, of course. I mean, there's a lot of work that comes through in your business and your creativity, but there's a consistency in action, because Mars in your house of adventure meets Saturn on 14th as well. You act responsibly on this vision that you're being given, this information that you're being given. It could be that you're traveling around this time or interacting with somebody who's different from you, and there is an epiphany that comes through that takes you to the next level. And then as soon as we get this information around 14th of the month, we run with it, because between 17th to 22nd of the month, Mars starts making contact with Pluto, with Mercury, with Saturn. These are the action time. This is the time to act. You could be taking very, very powerful steps right now to take your creativity to the next level, to take your business to the next level, to your relationship to the next level. And you're looking to get a reconciliation, a forward movement done in that area. And that, in my view, results in some project coming to fruition, some financial reward coming to fruition, at the very least, self-confidence coming through. Because as soon as Sun moves into Aries and the season changes on 20th of this month, the focus moves into proceeds, into monetary terms. And on the same day, on 21st of this month, we have a full moon. We have the last supermoon of this year happening in your house of finances at 0 degree, which is a critical degree, which is a turning point, which is a reward time, which is a time when the chase of a beautiful dream comes to some sort of conclusion, some sort of first rewards in terms of your work coming through, in terms of your project that you're working on coming through, in terms of the refinement on something that you've been working on coming through. And that shows up as either some revenue coming through, some money coming through, or at the very least some self-confidence coming through. And the light is thrown on the proceeds of your partnership as well during this time, and there is some element of you healing from the past loss as a result of that, because Sun and Chiron are together. A light is thrown towards the previous wound of loss, previous wound of not having faith in your forward path, that coming through, that getting healed for you to move forward. And this is a very, very beautiful reconciliatory time. If there have been any issues in your personal relationship, Venus will move into your 7th house of partnership on 26th of this month all the way to April. You're looking till 20th of April to create a beautiful proceed of the partnership that you are in, whether it is in form of more intimacy in your relationship, whether it is in form of financial rewards from your partnership. There is an existing contract that starts yielding result at this point in time, and Mercury goes direct on 28th of this month as well. So communication flows more easily in partnership. Things with clients get resolved, things with contracts get resolved, and we can start signing them. And then on 31st of March, Mars moves into your career house. The next 2 or 3 months will be dedicated to working on your career, because you'll be having the new moon on 3rd of June in your house of career. There's a new phase starting in June, and you sort of are laying down the groundwork for that over the next month and a half, forging the right partnership, creating the right loans, creating the right finances for it, creating the right background for it before you reach the next level around June with the new moon in your 10th house of career. And then of course there will be the eclipse that will be happening in your house of social status in the world, bringing it all at a larger scale, making it bigger than it has ever been. So this is like the stepped approach. You'll be having 2 full moons, one on 20th or 21st of March and another one in April in your house of finances. So finances need to be the focus right now. That is the phase we are in for the next month and a half, starting from 20th of this month. You'll be working on refining the terms. How do I get more money out of it? How do I get the commissions? What are the loans which are in process? What are the terms of the loans? What are the terms of a business partnership? What are my terms in terms of with my clients that are coming through? So there can be more value out of those contracts that is derived. But you see the first sign of success with the full moon that is happening on 20th or 21st of this month, which is very, very beautiful. It has come at a cost. It has come at a cost of your dedication. It has come at a cost of you changing the course of action when required and being mutable in the whole process, while keeping your earth element of looking at the end result in the game. So good luck for this month, and I'm looking forward to this becoming a success in the due course. Thank you so much.